Well, g'day guys. We've got some really interesting tastings coming up. Two of the biggest ones.
The warm-up Whisky Agency tasting to get ready for the marathon.
Yeah.
Right? So there's been a few bottles that we've been itching, and Jonno's pointing there, here, open that one, open that one. It's like, Jonno, we don't have all the budget in the world, and what do we do? And well, we decided to open them all.
So yeah, basically we'll talk a little bit more about the Whisky Marathon, Whisky Agency Marathon, but this is the warm-up.
This is the warm-up.
We're going to focus on the warm-up today. We've got 6 wonderful drams in there, and we're going to start by opening them here, so we can talk about them a little bit. 3 of them.
All right. 23-year-old Irish whiskey from 1997, bottled in 2020 under the perfect label under the perfect label of the Whisky Agency.
Yeah.
As we know, this comes from the Cooley Distillery. So that what you see today as stealing, that is Cooley, ex-Cooley Distillery. John Teeling sold the Cooley. Oh, it was almost to expect it. Almost.
Just delicately, mate, just like you've got it.
Yeah. Oh.
The cork almost went there, but
yeah, I thought so.
But he saved it.
I saved it.
This is a cracking dram. A dram that's got a pretty good, I guess a good response from everyone in the whiskey world who's tried it so far. And this is the first time I'm
very
trying.
Good reviews on this. Straight is like vanilla and pineapple.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Gorgeous palate with a bloody heap of length as well.
And beat. Hello.
Yeah, wow. So the palate at the start, you get like a bit of that transition from the nose of the tropical fruit, maybe a little bit of like a treacleness, a bit of honey, but then it's sort of like the peat kicks in.
I was not expecting this to be peated. Peated Irish whiskey, there you go.
Yeah, and there's a decent amount of it, but you can still get a bit of citrus poking through, like orange zest.
It makes me remember in those Ben Nevis bourbon casks that you get that they are peated at different levels, in consistent amount of peat.
Yeah.
So this is salty, this vanilla, this is really savory. Wow, this is
a
stunning.
really, really good
my
dram.
God.
I can see why it's getting such good reviews, and it's only sitting there, and I'm really like, absolutely, I can't wait to try this one.
Wow.
It just makes sense now.
How many times you tasted a peated Irish whiskey? Not many.
No.
So
awesome.
Don't take too long because this will sell out.
The tasting will go quickly. So that one we've got, as well as I'll talk about the other 3 briefly. So all Whisky Agency drams, as that's the Whisky Agency warm up. So 2 Secret Highlands, a 15 and a 23, 15 and a 19. Both bottled for Heads and Tails in Canada, which is basically Canada's exclusive release of the Whisky Agency. So to get to try those ones in this sort of tasting is really exciting because a lot of it probably doesn't get over.
Everything goes to Igor, which is important for Canada. Doesn't really share much of his stock. Everything goes to Canada. So this time we begged for some stock of that, and luckily we got hold of some of the Canadian releases for Whisky Agency. So
and the Croft NGO as well. That's going to be sensational. So those 3, and then some. They're all incredibly special and amazing drams. That's the wonderful thing about this tasting. But these 3 are, I guess, just in terms of the nature of them, a little bit older in some cases, and a little bit more of a harder to get dram. And the Deli Lane here, the 35-year-old.
Yes. So I didn't know if this was going to be a separate video or not. That's why I didn't want to open it. But saying that,
let's do it all.
This one is an old bottle, and these bottles, unfortunately, these corks tend to be quite stuck for this age. So we're going to remove the capsule first.
This is a touch and go 50-50, but Deli Lane 35, part of the Romantiques.
The Romantiques
series
by
the Whisky Agency.
We also have the 1970 Glenrothes, which we hope one day we will open. It's not going to be today. Okay, here we go.
So we're getting It's
slowly
always
there.
so good opening these ones. Careful, don't
It's
put
pretty
it too close
okay,
to the
not
ledge.
very stuck.
Reckon we'll be alright?
Yes, we did. We're right. Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Woo!
Died Dwayne, 1976. Oh, Whisky Agency's goodness.
Hello. Okay. At the start, we've just opened this. It's been in the bottle for a while. It was
Peaches and musk.
a little bit a little bit reserved, but now it's sort of like, even in the last 5 to 10 seconds,
Peach and musk stick.
the musk sticks is good. There's like a bit of
Varnish.
orange,
Yes.
like zesty, and
Mm.
honestly, it's got a bit of like honey quality to it as well. Like,
Leatherwood on the palate.
yeah.
You taste this leatherwood on the palate. There's a bit of like, there's a bit of like wood oil, cocoa, mocha.
That's delicious.
Wow, and this is just freshly opened.
Very
Remember,
complex.
these bottles go crazy after like a week
Yeah.
of air
And they'll get a beautiful week of air, and that's, I mean, it's just an amazing tasting so far. Like the perfect dram along with this, it's just going to be amazing. In my head, I'm like, how are we going to situate these drams and tasting? It's going to be cracking.
It's going to be another great tasting of our favorite bottler.
That is
Stunning.
delicious. And the third bottle that we're going to open now is a really, really special bottle. They're all incredibly special, but this one is one in particular that I've been excited to taste for a long time. Cold Ela, released for the Whisky Fair in 2007. This is bourbon hogshead, and it was part of a 2-bottle series. There was also the sherry,
Sherry
Cold
Ela,
and both sort of incredibly revered drams by lots of people for many reasons. Like Cold Ela, this is early 70s, I think. Is
No, this is 1984.
84?
1984.
Early 80s.
So 22-year-old Kalila, bottle at cask strength, 59%. For the Whisky Fair, like Kalila from the 80s is absolutely stunning. They are becoming so expensive right now that is, very difficult to get them at a decent price. We're lucky to have a few different Kalilas from the 80s, and this one also.
Ooh, 3 out of 3. They're coming out of 3 today.
Real. Oh,
I can't wait any longer for this one. Perfect. Oh, yeah, beauty. The mineral peat is there. Straight away, that's a typical Cold Ela 80s peat.
Oh, minerality, yes. Smells like, it's like smelling a rock. It's rock smell. You smell a rock. The rock, like, wet rock, or like wet, it does have a smell.
It's
like dust.
It's funny, it's like, this is like an absolute cracking dram. I love the tasting notes. Don't get put off by any tasting notes that you might think, oh really, like to us, that smell of a rock is actually quite good.
Oh, sweet ash and medicinal. Hips medicinal. Wow, this tastes like iodine. Wow.
Oh.
I would have never thought this is Kalila. How much iodine? Punch. Boom.
I must say that I was kind of expecting perhaps a little bit of fruit, maybe just some sort of tropical, fruity note there, but this is not quite that. This is Cold Ela manifested in a really interesting way. That minerality, the iodine is perfect, and the palate it's probably got a little bit more bourbon barrel peat influence than I would have expected.
And now I smell the nose. It's like bit mezcal on the nose. A bit of sort of like dirty smoke.
Yeah. Oh, this is cracking, and this is going to go exceptionally well.
Not quite like burning white goods. Like
no, it's not. It's not too.
Not like house burning on fire. More like peat on fire.
Yeah. I think
Stunning. This is going to be a great tasting.
burning rubber tires.
Burning rubber tires.
In the best possible
French
way.
riot. Smells like a French riot.
But incredible. And this is going to go so well with the Perfect Dram and with the WA 35 and the other ones there as well. So it's quite an affordable tasting for the, I guess, rarity and bottle cost of these drams if you were to buy them yourselves. $110 tasting. We send these out to you with a beer and you can join us on the night and taste along with us. It's
So we decided to do a very affordable tasting just to warm up for the marathon.
Yep.
So this is a very affordable tasting, Whisky Agency tasting. Drums of this quality are very hard to come by. So yeah, not to miss.
Oh wow, smell the Perfect Dram now. Must sticks for days.
Oof.
Yum. Delicious. It's beautiful. Cracking tasting and plenty of time to get you out of pack still. So we'd love to see you guys all in the tasting and join us for the warm-up of the Whisky Agency Marathon. Cheers guys.